Oh,
Uh,
oh.
like I need like one
Okay,
or
okay.
two.
Okay, if possible, do them all, or and also make sure that from the next time, uh, you guys upload the check whether you are uploading the right assignment or not. Okay, na?
Sir, you
Also,
cannot see what, sir.
yes, you cannot.
You cannot see while sending. There would be only the code. Uh, the picture won't be. So then, like we cannot see it.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
okay, okay. That's the case. Okay. Anyways. Okay. Uh, from this chapter, few questions must have been given. Okay. Also, this thing has been introduced in Learnivio from this year, I believe. So there might be few things that you might uh, find difficult, but it will be rectified. It will be corrected. If you find any issues, contact to the team. They are always there to help you guys. Okay, now. So, what is the total number of teeth in an adult person?
32.
Sir, 32.
32. Very good. While in a child, that will be 20.
20,
Good.
sir.
Good. So today we'll be learning about the tooth decay, how tooth decay happens. So, from your experience also, or like from your cousins or someone who might have to went to a dentist to get their tooth cured, if they are from suffering from a habit, like if they eat lots of candies, lots of sugary substances, so thereby they will develop decay in their tooth. So, what is tooth decay? From the name itself, it basically means a gradual damage of teeth is called as tooth decay. So, tooth decay, it is a gradual decay of tooth. So then question comes, what is the main cause of it? So main cause is that the presence of a bacteria in the mouth that grow if we do not keep our mouth clean. Mouth and teeth, if they are not kept clean, so bacteria will start growing on the tooth. Okay, now that's why it is advised to brush regularly right now, and also avoid eating sugary substances. But because the thing is that if you were to look at the structure of the tooth, it is not flat. This isn't flat, no. This isn't like this. So there are some crack like structures here, some bends, like it is like this. It is rough like this. If you look close, this is how it looks like. So what happens? Some sugar particles or some food particles might get stuck in here, and it will be difficult to remove them even after brushing. Even brushing will not remove it, and bacteria might start growing on it right now. So if there's any leftover food that gets stuck into our tooth, thereby it will now be eaten up by the bacteria. So I did told you that the main cause of tooth decay, guys can start writing as well. Okay, na? You have to write, give the headline tooth decay and start writing. Meanwhile, listen to me also. So the main cause of tooth decay is the growth of bacteria in the mouth. If we don't keep our mouth and teeth clean. So what will happen? This bacteria gets stuck over here. So the bacteria is stuck here.
Sir,
Yes.
after it is a, what is that after it?
Over in the
No,
first
sir.
line or in the second
Yeah,
line? Hmm.
first line.
The main cause of tooth decay is the growth of bacteria in the mouth if we don't keep our mouth and teeth clean.
No, sir. The blue one.
The blue one. It is a gradual decay of tooth.
Okay, sir.
Okay, no? Hmm. So this over here is bacterial growth. Now what happens now, as you guys can see in this first image, this is the image of a very healthy teeth. Second image, you see that now the bacteria has started to spread. Bacteria further goes into the soft tissues inside the tooth right now. So how it is able to penetrate into it? You know that enamel is very hard now. Our
Yes, sir.
tooth is made up of a hard white shiny substance called as enamel. So it is the strongest substance. In fact, it is the strongest substance in our body. After this comes bones. Getting it, guys? Now, so this is the strongest and hardest substance in our body. But still, bacteria are able to penetrate it, break into it. How does it do so? So basically, what happens? The bacteria start releasing acids. The bacteria releases acids, and acids, we know that it is corrosive in nature. Like if you were to pour some acid over the marble or over some surface, if it's a strong acid, most probably it will corrode the surface, isn't it, guys? It will eat away the surface. Hmm?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever observed, like if someone were to drop some acid on something, bubbles start to form, huh? Some kind of reactions start to happen. So similar thing will happen here, although you don't see it because it's a very slow and gradual process. It's not like you have eaten lots of candies today, the next day you will develop a tooth decay. No, it happens over some time. Getting it now, guys? So the bacteria releases acids which uh, breaks into enamel, right? So and thereby it will slowly start to damage the enamel. And once it reaches the nerve endings, once it reaches the soft tissue, now here you can see this red region that you see over here. Here's the soft tissue where it has reached. This is called as pulp. So this soft tissue is called as pulp. And later on, it might reach up to the up to the nerves also, right now. So thereby it will be very painful. And it might even lead to a removal of tooth also. So another thing is that tooth decay,
Sir, we should
yes,
write the blank.
the blank, yeah, the one in blank, yeah, right, that one also.
Okay, sir.
So tooth decay can be very painful and can make you toothless. So that's why parents normally advise you not to eat lots of candies. Okay, now? And it is basically why is it that if you're eating some normal things, for example, like you eat rice, you eat a chapati, you eat any other thing which is not high in sugar, will not cause tooth decay most probably. But if you keep on drinking lots of soft drinks, you keep on consuming lots of candies, so they are lots of chocolates, these are having a high content of sugar in it. That's why it is advised to avoid eating lots of sugary substances. So sugary substances are the main cause of the tooth decay. Okay, now. So you will write food rich in sugar content should be avoided. Food rich in sugar content should be avoided. Like you have examples of candy, chocolate, or you have some soft drinks. In fact, soft drinks or soda drinks, I would recommend that never ever, like at least try not to drink them. Okay, na? It is not good for health. So how can you prevent the tooth decay? Clean your teeth with a brush or a dental floss at least twice a day. Okay, na? Dental floss, you guys know, dental floss is basically a thread using which you can clean your teeth. Have you guys written all the contents of this page?
No, sir.
Okay, write it down. Your schools are going on, no, Priyanka?
No, sir.
It hasn't started yet.
Yes, sir, because we in Bahrain there's lots of very heavy rainfall. So
Okay, okay, you
whole
are also
become
there.
yes, sir. The whole area become full of water. So
I
we
saw
can
saw the news. So recently there's been lots of rainfall there. So I thought you were from Andhra
yes, sir.
Pradesh or like from southern state in India.
No, sir. I'm
Okay,
from
by the
Tamil
way,
Nadu.
from Tamil Nadu, no? Okay, okay.
Yes.
Okay. In Tamil Nadu from where? From Chennai or from which part?
Madurai.
Madurai. Okay, okay.
Yes.
Okay, you guys done writing all these things? Also, once you had a meal, you should rinse your mouth off with water. Rinse your mouth after every meal. Okay. Also, one should not put, like normally one has a habit of putting pencils or pens in your mouth, or your dry finger in your mouth, or any unwashed food items should not be put in the mouth. Getting it now? Because that might be infected with the bacteria, and you will be basically introducing bacteria in your mouth that might lead to dental lead to tooth decay. So we can prevent it. You guys can prevent it. Okay, now Abu and Priyanka done with this. Once done, do let me know. You guys tell me which kind of teeth is used for cutting and biting the food. Abu and Priyanka, you guys tell me which kind of teeth is used for cutting and biting food.
Incisor.
Yes, sir.
Incisors.
Inside. Yes.
Okay. How many incisors are there in the lower jaw?
Sir, the whole lower jaw or
Yeah,
one
the
side?
whole lower jaw, both the rows, row 1 and row 2, complete
Two,
lower
Sir,
jaw.
two.
two, sir. Two.
Combining both, it is 4. Like
Yes,
left
sir.
row,
Two.
right row, that is 4.
Yes, sir.
Okay, when I say lower jaw, you have to count both the rows, row 1, row 2. That is basically 4. Upper jaw, same. The
Yes, sir.
total number of incisors are
8.
8, and we are talking about an adult or a baby. It is
Baby.
actually both now,
Adult. Oh, yes, sir.
because number of incisors are same in whether you talk about a baby or an adult, isn't it, Abu and Priyanka?
Yes, sir. Done.
Done, Abu? You done with writing all this? Then what about piercing, and for the purpose of piercing and tearing the food, which kind of teeth?
Sir,
Piercing and tearing.
can.
Canines.
Yes, sir. Can I?
Okay. Canines, good. Abu, you tell me what is the number of canines in the lower jaw? And Priyanka, you will tell me which animals have got long canines.
Tiger.
Good. Yes, Abu. How many canines are there in an adult or in a baby in the lower jaw? Priyanka, you can also answer this.
Sir, 2.
2, and 2 in the upper jaw. Okay, na? Can you tell me like which animal has got the longest canine teeth out of all the animals? Like that tigers, they like lions and cheetahs, they have got big canine teeth. If you were to look at the teeth of a cat also, you might find that cats also have got a long canine. Have you seen the tooth of a hippopotamus?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes,
Have you
sir.
ever seen when it opens its mouth very wide? Now, when it opens its mouth, then it reveals its canine teeth.
Yes, sir.
Huh? And in fact, it is the largest. It is the longest canine tooth of any animal. So you note it somewhere. If you want, you can note it somewhere. Make a small circle or bracket and note it down.
Okay, sir.
Hippopotamuses have the longest canine teeth. Now, you guys tell me, in order to chew and grind the food, in order to chew and grind the food, which kind of teeth we use?
Sir, premolars.
In fact, there's one more, no? Premolar and molar. Both
Yes,
of
sir.
them are used for chewing and grinding the food, right? No?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You guys also tell me, we did a study about the function of saliva. Saliva breaks something. What does it break?
Starch.
Starch. Good. What does it break starch into?
Pieces.
Pieces, but what's the chemical term for it? Saliva breaks starch.
Sir, can you go back?
Yeah, 1 minute. Into sugars now. If you guys haven't noted this down, you will be noting this down. Let me go to this slide. This one here, no? Abu?
Yes, sir. I'm at
Okay.
the last.
Okay, okay. You guys will note that fact also, which we discussed in the previous class, that saliva breaks the starch into sugars. More specifically, it was maltose. Okay, na?
Sir,
But anyways, just write sugar only. Done, Abu?
yes, sir.
So note this thing down also. In the previous note, saliva breaks the starch into sugars. If you guys haven't noted it already,
Sir, we have
we
done
have
it.
you have no good.
Yes, sir.
Now, as you guys know that you guys know how to prevent tooth decay. Okay, now. Now you guys know that there are different regions of taste bud in our tongue. So you guys see that certain parts of the tongues are sensitive to certain kind of taste. Getting it now? Certain parts of the tongue are sensitive to certain kind of taste. So we'll be studying that also. For example, let's say this is the tongue. Let's say this is the front portion. This is this. These are different taste buds. Taste buds. Okay, so let's learn about this, the different taste buds in the tongue, and let's see that which part is sensitive to which kind of taste. First of all, what kind of different tastes are there? You guys tell me.
Sir, salt,
Salty, good,
sugar,
and sugary, and
and spicy.
spicy in itself is not a taste. Spicy can include all of it. It can be salty, it can be sweet, it can be sour, it can be bitter. Okay, now
Okay.
spicy means all of the taste combined together means spicy. Okay, now. So see, the front portion of the tongue is usually sensitive to sweet taste. It is sensitive to sweet taste. It does not mean that if you were to put the sugar crystals here or here, you won't feel its taste. You will feel its taste, but the front portion of the tongue is more sensitive, right now. So taste buds are basically that region in the tongues that can detect sweet, salty, bitter, sour, or there's one more called as umami also. Basically, let me write it over here. Basically, taste buds detect sour, sweet, salty, bitter, and umami taste. Now, as I said that some part of the tongue is more sensitive to a certain kind of taste. Like the front portion is more sensitive to sweet, right now. Or for example, the back portion of your tongue is more sensitive to bitter taste. So this one is more sensitive to bitter taste right now. And if you were to look at this side portions of the tongue, the lower side portion, they are more sensitive to salty. This one and this one. If possible, you guys can draw the diagram also, which I have drawn. Just draw a rough diagram, okay? And the above lower portion, they are sensitive to sour taste. Okay, now they are sensitive to sour taste. Hope you guys have got it. Also, like if you were to look at the structure of the tongue, it appears as if the tongue is split into half. You guys see, you guys can, some people can roll their tongue like this. Some people can roll their tongue. Understanding
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
trying to say?
Yes, sir.
So there's a line that appears here. It is from where it splits, like it kind of looks like from where it folds in fold develops from here. So this is called as foliate. Let me write the name of it. Although this is not that much important, but just I think you guys should know. It is called as foliate. First of all, note these things down. So basically, the thing is now that a huge number of taste buds covers the surface of our tongue, and these help us to identify different kind of taste. Okay, now, and you know that basically now, if you were to see that these are basically their nerve cells are actually, these are actually nerve cells. Basically, taste buds are what? They are basically enriched with different kind of nerve cells. So particular kind of nerve cells will be more sensitive to the sweet taste. The nerve cells found in this region of the in the tongue will be sensitive to the bitter taste. So it has actually got to do with the different kind of nerve cells. So taste buds basically will be having a receiving cells. Like in higher classes, you will get to know now, like just how you, when you see something, for example, when you look at something, for example, let's say something is blue in color. So there will be some cells that will now first of all be receiving that information from the outer surrounding. Try to understand what I'm trying to say. Or for example, let's say that I touch something which is very cold or very hot. So the cells in my hand, first of all, will be receiving that information. Understand this first. And then those informations will be sent down to the brain, and our brain will process that information, and then the brain will decide whether it is sweet, salty, sour, or what the taste of that food is. Are you guys able to understand what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
So normally when you touch something that is very hot, you immediately remove your hand from there. Why has it happened? Because a stimulus reaction takes place there, whereby the cells of your hands has received that information. It is sent to the brain processed that information and directed the your hand to immediately remove it from that hot surface. Something similar you can imagine here also, like the nerve cells present over this region of the tongue will get the information by eating that food. by from the sugary substances. This information is sent down to the brain, and the brain interprets its taste. Abu and Priyanka, have you guys understood this?
Okay, sir.
No, it's a question. I'm asking whether you guys have understood this or not.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no? Okay, can we move further then?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have completed discussion regarding the first part of the elementary canal. Now we are going to be discussing about the food pipe, also called as esophagus. Okay, now the food pipe basically starts from the neck region, as you can see here from also. It has started from the neck region and runs until the chest area ends here, right now. So it runs till the stomach. So the food, when it is chewed, it moves through the food pipe and reaches the stomach through this path. And the foot moves in downward direction in the foot in the downward direction. It is not downward, it is downward. WARD. Okay, now DOWNWARD. Now, basically talking about the food pipe or the esophagus, you might wonder like how the food goes through it. Is it so that it on its own food moves, or some kind of movement helps in the movement of food inside it? Have you guys ever thought about this? Like, how does food actually move inside it? Hmm. Like normally, you might find that even if you are a little bit no, like let's say you're not standing upright or you're not sitting upright, and you're a little bit bent backwards, huh? Or you are, let's say, bowing downwards. Let's say the person is in this position. Let's say person is bent like this. Try to understand. Even in this position, if the person were to eat something, the food will go to the stomach. Normally, if the person is standing, you might think like due to the gravity, the food will fall down through this food pipe. Isn't it, Priyanka and Abu?
Yes, sir.
Are you guys able to understand the question I'm trying to ask? So I am saying that let's say the person is in a bent position like this. So in this case, how does the food moves through it? Here, gravity is not helping it to move downward like this. So actually, what happens? There's a kind of movement that happens in the food pipe that is called as peristalsis movement. So what is peristalsis movement? Peristalsis movement basically happens while you are eating the food. Now, your esophagus will kind of look like this. It will be kind of like this. So what you can understand from here that a series of wave-like muscular movement takes place in the food pipe, which allows the food to pass through it. Hmm? Let me zoom it more clearly. Suppose that this much portion I have taken here. So say this is basically inside this you have this food particle, let's say. So you guys can understand from here that here the food has been contracted. Here if you see, it has contracted. This portion of the food pipe has contracted and this portion have got relaxed. And this movement will continue until the food reaches the stomach. So there's a series of continuous wave-like muscular movement, which is basically in the fashion of contraction and relaxation, which allows the food to pass through it. Are you guys able to imagine this? Are you guys able to understand this?
No, sir.
Not getting it. Just give me 1 minute. Just allow me to take one image that will give a better clarity of what I'm talking about. Now you guys look at the given image here. Let me just take this one. Mm, Now look at this animation. How beautifully it is explained here. Just 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. It was actually this way. It was correct, no? Yeah. So in the animation, you can see that it's showing that how the foot is actually moving here. The foot is moving downward through this foot pipe here, and you can see look at the shape. Does it not happen occur like a wave? Does it not look like a wave, guys?
Yes, sir.
How
It
does a
looks like.
wave look like in an ocean or in a sea? How does a wave look like? This is how it looks like. Abu, have you understood this? So this wave along with it kind of pulls
Yes.
down this foot particle. So in this manner, foot is going down. So this particular kind of movement that takes place in the esophagus, it will, by the way, it will happen in some other parts of the digestive tract also, which we'll be studying later on. So this is special kind of, is my screen not visible?
Yes, sir.
1 minute. So we did studied about this esophagus. I will write a definition for it. You will be noting it down. Another thing is that a special kind of movement takes place in it. So movement of food in the food pipe is due to a series of wave-like movement called as peristalsis movement. This is very important. Peristalsis movement. Talking about the esophagus, basically the food pipe. So it's a muscular tube-like structure which starts from the tongue and continues till the mouth or till the stomach, right now. So this is a muscular tissue. Let me write the definition for it as well. You guys start writing.
Sir, we didn't need to write the down.
First of all, you will be writing the definition for esophagus. After that, we'll be writing definition of peristalsis movement. Okay, now. So this is a muscular tube-like structure that starts from neck region and runs until the stomach in animals. So the food that is chewed in the mouth, it goes to the stomach via this structure. So food in mouth goes to esophagus, and finally from esophagus it will go to the stomach. Now keep on writing this also, and meanwhile listen to what I'm saying. Sometimes when you guys are eating in a very hurry, sometimes you are eating in a hurry, and let's say you are talking and you are laughing while you are eating the food, you may actually cough, or you might get hiccups, or you might also kind of choking sensation might develop. Have you guys, you might guys might have experienced this as well, huh?
Yes, sir.
Mm. That's why it is said not to talk too much while eating. Eat slowly. Hmm? Do not laugh. You might get cough. You might develop hiccups. Right now. So what does basically happen in this? You will write down this later on. Just 1 minute. If you guys were to look at the mm, chest region of the human, what you will find that alongside the food pipe now. I hope I have that diagram. Unfortunately, no. Anyways, just try to understand. Yeah, from here. See, what you guys know that alongside the food pipe, you have got the wind pipe also, no? Right? That is connected to the lungs. So just side by side to the esophagus, we have the food pipe also. Sorry, wind pipe also. Right now. So what happens sometimes now? When food particles will be entering the windpipe, so thereby you might develop thereby you might develop hiccups or you might cough. Right now, are you guys understanding this? Give me a minute. Let's say that here you have got a windpipe, and here you will be having a structure called as larynx. Larynx is basically the sound box. Okay, now you, me, and all of us are able to speak because of the larynx. Okay, now larynx. Also, larynx is also called as Adam's apple. After puberty, when children reach the age of 15, 16, or 17, it swells and it is actually kind of visible in the neck region.
Sir, I
Yes,
have
sir.
that.
You have that, no? So probably you are in your teenage, right now, in the teenage.
No, sir.
No. Mm-hmm.
Uh, I have grown at
Okay, okay. So let's understand why when food enters the windpipe, you develop hiccups. Okay, now. So basically, food, if let's say, just one another important thing you guys need to imagine here. Imagine that this is the food pipe and this is the wind pipe, and both of them are connected, like not connected. Both of them are side by like to each other like this. Now, what happens now? There's a cap like structure. There's an opening in the wind pipe right now, and that opening is covered by a cap like structure called as epiglottis. So if sometime what happens, this epiglottis remains open, pay attention to what I'm drawing. This is your windpipe, and in this you have got a cap like structure, and not this one over here which I am sharing using this yellow color. Now imagine it to be the food pipe. Okay, and this is our windpipe, and the food is coming from your mouth. You have eaten for some food, now it is coming from your mouth. In normally what happens, this opening is closed by a lead like structure called as epiglottis. What is the name of it? Epiglottis.
Epiglottis.
Let me spell it. Epiglottis. But sometimes what happens, if you keep on talking, if you keep on laughing so much while you are eating food, right now, so the food will now, this epiglottis at that time will open, and food, instead of going down through the food pipe, will enter into it. So that's a very problematic situation right now. If food were to enter it, it might lead further into the lungs or uh, um,
it will not
create some
uh,
problem. Hmm?
it will not go further. Like
It
uh, you get a hiccup, then it will go back to its place. If it
exactly
goes fully inside, it's a problem.
exactly. That's why hiccups develops. That's why you start to develop cough. If the food gets into it, then due to coughing or due to hiccups, the food will come out of it. Okay, now hope you guys are able to understand this. Okay, is it clear to both of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no? So during the act of swallowing the food, there is a lead-like valve, I would say, or basically a leaf-like tissue, which actually closes the passage here of the windpipe. But sometimes it might remain open. Due to this, the food particles enters this windpipe, and we feel choked and get hiccups or cough. Anyways, so we were talking about esophagus. Have you guys written this? If not, write it down.
No, sir.
Now, sometimes what happens, let's say that the food was not like food was infected. For example, food poisoning happens now.
Yes,
If
sir.
you eat infected food, food poisoning happens. And in the case of food poisoning, person vomits a lot. Vomiting happens right now. So sometimes the food is not accepted by our stomach and it is vomited out right now. So in this case, what happens? What we have studied moments ago, we did studied about peristalsis. Oh, wait, did that slide go? Mm, hmm. Anyways, moments ago, we did studied about peristalsis, isn't it? Yes, here it is. So in peristalsis, normally food goes downward. While in the case of vomiting, what will happen? Reverse peristalsis movement takes place. Okay, now
Yes, sir.
in vomiting, reverse peristalsis. Is that clear, Abu and Priyanka?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. If someone questions you what basically happens, you would say basically reverse peristalsis leads to vomiting. Write down the contents of this page and then we will be moving further.
Sir, now we didn't need to write the blue one, right?
This one, the movement of food in the, yes, you have to write down this one if you haven't noted earlier.
Okay, sir.
You guys know that until the year 1822, people were not aware of the functioning of a stomach, how a stomach functions. Huh? It was only in the year 1822 that an incident happened, an accident happened with a person, and due to that, basically, people got to know about the function. Scientists, doctors got to know about how stomach functions. We'll be studying that also. If you guys have noted it down, please do let me know. Abu and Priyanka, both of you done?
Yes, sir.
Done. So food normally moves in the downward direction in your esophagus, but in some case it might move down in reverse direction if the food is accepted by the stomach. Now let's to talk about the stomach. Now talking about the stomach, if you were to look at the width of different parts of the alimentary canal, in this image you can see here that like in this image or take reference of this image, you can clearly observe that stomach is widest of all. I'm not talking about glands. I'm only talking about the main part of the alimentary canal. I'm not talking about salivary gland or the pancreas or the liver. So here you can see that stomach is obviously having the greatest width, maximum width here, isn't it? So stomach, which is a J-shaped organ, is the widest part of our alimentary canal. It's a bag-like structure in a flat U shape, or sometimes you can assume it to be a J-shaped organ as well. Anyways, that's not that much important, but the main thing is that how does it function? What does it do to the food? Also, like moments ago, we have talked to the food in this. In the element, in the food pipe, nothing is broken in the food. It goes from the mouth to the stomach as it is. No, nothing is being secreted in the food pipe. No enzymes, nothing. So do keep that thing in your mind. So stomach is connected obviously with the food pipe. Here you can see the esophagus is ending. Okay, now here's the thing. If you were to look at this line over here, basically the place where the esophagus will be ending and the stomach will be starting. Now you might think, like, if I were to overeat, if I were to eat excess amount of food, will the food will start to occupy this part of the esophagus also? Will the food start entering into the esophagus? Hmm? Have you guys thought like this?
No, sir.
Yep. So this normally does not happen. Why is it so? Because there's a kind of muscle found here. There's a very special kind of muscle found here. That muscle is called as sphincter muscle. Okay, now sphincter muscle is found. It is found at different places in our body. Now, sphincter muscle is basically what? Like it will allow movement of something forward. Okay, now it will allow the movement of something forward and then it will stop. Like the food that is passing down from the food pipe into the stomach, once a food has gone into it, then it will close for a momentary period of time. Right now, like you have eaten the food, let's say you had a meal. So this will not shut down until you eat for the next time or until you drink something. Are you guys able to understand it? Priyanka and Abu, are you guys understanding what I'm trying to say here?
No, sir.
It's kind of a closed mechanism. See, try to understand this. The food is coming from your mouth via the food pipe into the stomach. Okay. So some people might think, like, if I were to eat lots of foods, what will happen? They will say that like the food might now start entering into the food pipe. But that does not happen because there's a kind of special muscle found here called as sphincter muscle. And sphincter muscle basically kind of closes it. For some time it closes it and it will open until you eat or drink something. So it prevents the food from getting back into the food pipe. And in special cases like in vomiting, it will allow the food to go back to the mouth. Hmm?
Okay.
Try to understand it. Abu, are you getting it? Sphincter muscles have got a very special role to play. Okay, now sphincter muscles are found in different part of the body. Anal sphincter is also there. Okay, now so basically it regulates the food passing from the esophagus into the stomach, and it prevents the contents of the stomach from re-entering into the esophagus. Let me write it over here if you guys are not getting it. See, sphincter muscle, it basically regulates passing of food into stomach and prevents the food from re-entering into food pipe. Have you guys understood this? So this stomach also, another thing you need to note down, that this is connected with two parts of the alimentary canal. One with the esophagus, and then later on with the, this part over here. You see, this is from where, this is that part from where the small intestine starts. So this much part where I'm pointing, this much part is the stomach, and from here the small intestine starts. So this was all about the structure of it. Abu and Priyanka, if you guys are not understanding about the sphincter muscle, you can leave it also. This is an extra thing which I have told you guys here. You guys have understood this or not, by the way? Please do let me know.
Yes, sir, we understood.
You guys understood now? Good. Abu, what about you? What about you? Good. Also now it will be found here also now. It makes sense that a sphincter muscle will be present here also. Huh? Because you won't want that the food now from the small intestine goes back into the stomach. If there were to be no sphincter muscle, what will happen? Suppose someone punches someone in the abdomen very hard. Huh? Someone were to punch someone in the stomach very hard, let's say. So the food might compress down and might enter into this esophagus. Try to understand this. So that does not happen because of the sphincter muscle. It will be present here also. It will be present in the ending of the alimentary canal. Basically, anal sphincter is also there. Anyways, let's to talk about the secretions. What is secreted by the stomach? Now, if you were to look at the inner lining of the stomach now, there was one more interesting thing which I wanted to tell you about the stomach. As a few moments ago I told you now, like it was only in the year 1822 that people got to know about the functioning of the stomach. In your NCERT, there would be blue box in page 15 or 16, I believe. Go to that page number, find that box, box. In that, you will find a paragraph regarding scientists. Read about that. Let me just tell you what basically happened now. Basically, in the year 1822, a very important discovery happened. I'm writing here, okay? Now, from here, in the year 1822, basically what happened? In this year, the working of the stomach was discovered for the first time. So there was a man who was badly hit by a shotgun, and that bullet had seriously damaged the rib cage, and it went all the way up to the stomach. So it made a hole in the stomach. What did it do? It created a hole in the stomach. Okay, now? Okay. What happened next? So the bullet which damaged it, which created a hole in it, so he was brought in front of a doctor. He was brought in front of an American doctor. So doctor was able to save this patient. He gave all the necessary medicines. He covered the wound, everything which he could do. But he was unable to close the hole properly. So since he was unable to close it, so it was unbandaged. This part of the stomach was not bandaged. Okay, now. So what happened? Now he saw it as an opportunity to look inside the stomach. How does the stomach functions? Now keep in mind that this person was still alive. This person was given all the necessary treatment, but there was a hole in it. So when he started studying the insides of his stomach, so he made some very important observations. He found that his stomach was churning down the food. Churning, you guys are understanding what is churning? Churning is something like this. When the food is basically uh, churning, how do you guys understand this? Food was basically mixed like this. It was moved and mixed. Hmm? And the inner lining of the stomach was secreting a special kind of fluid that was able to digest the food. Okay, now. Also, another important observation which he made, that that the end of the stomach now, this end of the stomach, where the sphincter muscle is found. This opens only at that time when the digestion of the food inside the stomach has completed. And in fact, it makes sense now. Yeah, Priyanka and Abu.
Yes, sir.
Hmm? So when the